friend for yielding and also for bringing this issue to the attention of the American people. And by the way, for the great work you do as our ranking member on the Natural Resources Committee. I think Mr. DeFazio made a great explanation, a very instructive explanation about this whack-a-mole game that we're playing. The Vets Memorial is closed, so we do a bill to open that up, a bill that we know isn't going anywhere. There's an issue comes about because of the lack of cancer treatment that some of our constituents need and must have. So we do a quick bill, a whack-a-mole, a quick Band-Aid. The Capitol Police demonstrate that they put their life on the line every day, and it became very, very apparent this week when we had the very unfortunate situation over in the Senate. So what do? We come out now and we say we're going to pass a bill to pay for federal employees after this fabricated government close down is done. Those are all very, very serious issues, and there are a lot of other serious issues in front of us. And that may pale in, what may pale in comparison is the issue of the wildlife refuges. And people may say, well, you know, that it's just a sport, it's recreation, but to some that's very, very important. And just a week ago, ironically, our nation celebrated the National Hunting and Fishing Day. But today, sportsmen and women who are supposed to be out enjoying the opening day of duck season in many parts of my home state of California, but they're not because of this reckless manufactured government shutdown that has shut down hunting opportunities throughout the entire National Wildlife Refuge system. This shutdown is having a devastating impact on local economies that depend upon hunters and anglers throughout our entire country. There are 240 congressional districts that are home to national wildlife refuges. That's all the way across the country. This is an issue today and will be until we do away with this shutdown and open the government back up. Every state has at least one refuge which allows hunting. So today, hunters are supposed to be lined up at places like the Tule Lake National Wildlife Refuge, the Lower Klamath National Wildlife Refuge, and the Kern National Wildlife Refuge in my state of California. But because of this shutdown, all have been canceled. Some duck hunters will be able to pursue their opening day on non-refuge land, but without hunting pressure on the refuges, their hunting is going to be shut down, closed, or at least truncated to some extent. In addition, and this is a very important issue that I think everyone needs to pay attention to, most of the access for California's disabled waterfowl hunters is found on our state's National Wildlife Refuge system. With the refuge closed, that means that disabled hunters, including many, many wounded warriors, will simply have no option for waterfowling. And in 2 weeks, all of the waterfowl hunting areas in California will be open. So if we don't end this shutdown, millions of sportsmen and women will continue to be shut out from their refuges. And it's not just the hunters and the anglers that are affected by the closure of these wildlife refuges. Hunting in California is big business. In 2012 alone, hunters and anglers generated more than $1 billion in retail sales. And they created and they sustained at least 20,000 jobs in California alone. I've heard from folks who own businesses around these refuges, restaurants, gas stations, a family-owned hotel and motel that rely on the business generated by hunters. Some local lodges and motels have seen every one of their reservations for this weekend and the following week to be canceled. They were supposed to be fully booked. Next week is supposed to be their busiest week of the year. And now, because of this fabricated shutdown, they'll have empty beds. At Curb's Outlet, a sporting goods store in Tule Lake, Don Curb, the owner, told me that he was expecting to have a big season for sales this year. Instead, he anticipates losing about $6,000 every day that the refuges are closed, and he may have to take out a loan just to keep his small business open. Hunting guides in the Klamath Basin region are losing $800 to $1,000 every day that the refuge remains closed. And just over the Oregon border, the Wild Goose Motel in Merrill could have booked up all of their hotel rooms several times over because the demand is so high for this week and this weekend and next week. But according to Fran Lynn, their manager, out of their 13 rooms and 2 cabins, they have 1 room that will be occupied. These businesses that rely on the next few weeks of hunting season to keep them in business for the rest of the year are in a hurt, and they can't make up for the loss. This first week is their big week each year, and it will be lost forever. California hunters want and need access to our national refuges. It's time for the House majority to put the interest of our nation ahead of the interest of the Tea Party and end this needless and reckless government shutdown, which is having an impact on millions of sportsmen and women around our country, along with federal employees who are being furloughed, folks waiting on veterans benefits, the folks waiting for cancer research and treatment, and the closure of our national parks. This manufactured shutdown is costing us $12 million an hour. Please bring back the clean CR to the floor for a vote so we can open our government. As all it takes is 1 vote, put it on the floor, and Democrats and Republicans will provide a strong bipartisan vote to pass it, to open our government, to get people back to work. And I yield back.